Hey guys, welcome back. It's Claytano. Thank you so much for tuning in as always. And this is the first episode of Smash or Pass. Alright, so now this is kind of like my How to Rune series, but it's got a little bit more of an edge to it because we're going to be talking about smashing or passing monsters, if you know what I'm saying. But I thought what better monster to do than Triton, because on my Stella video previously, he was the most talked about really, and that's how we're going to be picking the next monster going forward, because it's all going to be about you guys and what you decide. So if you want to see a different monster for the Smash or Pass series, go ahead and comment below which monster you like. The one with the most likes is going to be the next featured monster. To start off, let's talk about Triton's runes here. And I like to rune Triton one of two ways. Now there's a couple of different variations to it, but we'll talk about it here in just a second. The first way in this meta, I believe the best way to rune him is with Swift Will. The reason being is because Swift Will is going to give you that Tiana-esque type effect. Okay, it's not going to be as good as Tiana, and that's why Triton gets a little bit of a bad rep, because he's not as reliable as Tiana would be, of course. But there's a couple different situations where I would prefer using Triton over Tiana. One of them being on arena offense against a Amduat defense. Okay, now if you think about it, if you use Tiana against an Amduat defense, you'll probably get your Tiana off, you'll get your Galleon off, and then by the time you get your Galleon off, you've already removed the will runes from your team, and then that Amduat has got clear reign to stun your team, reduce your attack bar, etc. It's not fun, and it's really risky fighting into an Amduat with a Tiana arena offense. So if you switch out to a Triton instead, you still get basically the same effect where you're removing the buffs from the other team. You're also decreasing the attack bar, which gives your monsters a chance to come up in speed, where instead with Tiana, your monsters gain the attack gauge. With Triton, the other monsters lose the attack gauge, so it's still bringing it closer and sometimes giving your monsters a chance to go first, but it leaves the will runes on your arena offense, so that way you have a chance to get your Galleon off, take the Amduat against your will runes on your two nukers that are left over, come in with a Zeros, with a Tashar, with Alicia, whatever monster you want to use. Even with a bomb AO, same thing. Come in with your Leevely, your Dover, your Sierra afterwards, and not have to worry about being Amduated. Also, another situation that Triton excels over Tiana would be in arena defense. Now, I wouldn't necessarily build him with Swift for arena defense. I would rune him more of like a Despair Nemesis buff stripper, like you would use Juno or Praha. But he has a buff strip that can remove the buffs, but also decrease attack bar on certain monsters and could potentially shift up the turn order, which could be devastating for certain AOs, where Tiana doesn't have that capability. And if you're trying to use a Tiana on defense, it's too squishy in my opinion and doesn't work out as well as a Triton would. And me personally, I've used Triton on my account for arena offense to get rank 3, to get G3 consistently week after week, using it with the Zeros, Galleon, and Tosi combination. Just building your Triton just a little bit over the speed of your nukers and your Galleon, and it kind of gives you a little bit more play against Nemesis procs. Now let's talk about real quick just about his skills, because a lot of people ask, should I Devilmon it, should I not Devilmon it? But let's kind of break it down and think together whether we should Devilmon it or not. So first off, we have his third skill here, and the Devilmons are going to increase damage by 30%, and it's going to decrease the cooldown of his skill by 2 turns. So really he's going to have 30% damage increase, plus he's going to have a 4-turn skill cooldown. Okay, so alright, moving on, because I'm not too sure about it just yet. The second skill just has a 1 skill cooldown. So instead of being 5 turns, it goes to 4 turns. And then on his first skill, it just increases damage by another 30%. But let's think, how are we runing Triton? What role is he actually playing? Well, he's playing a buff stripper role. He's also playing a silence role. And that's about it. Does he damage? No, he doesn't damage. Does damage matter on Triton? Absolutely not. And also, if we use his skill, how often do we get another turn to use his skill? Or is the match over by the time it even comes up to the 4th turn? Which in most cases, the answer should be that you're not getting to the 4th turn anyway. The general consensus, if you're using it on AO, the answer is you don't need to have it double mod. If you're using it for a Despair Nemesis buff stripper on arena defense, I would say absolutely double mod it, because on arena defense, the defense is probably going to have more turns than it would on an arena offense and not die so quickly that you could get another chance to remove buffs and it could be clutch for your team. But again, on Triton, it's not an absolute necessity. So if you had the choice between double modding a Triton or double modding a different monster that absolutely needs the double mods, almost like even a Galleon, I would much rather dump double mods into a Galleon that needs the double mod rather than the Triton first off if you had to prioritize. So as for my final decision whether I would smash or pass Triton, I would absolutely 100% smash the F out of the Triton, man. I love Triton, one of my favorite monsters for my arena offense that I've had for a very, very, very long time. And if you guys have one, definitely use it because he's awesome. Even if you have a Tiana, I don't care. Utilize your Triton. He's a great monster. But again, go ahead and leave your comments below of what monster you want to see in the next Smash or Pass video. If you like this video, go ahead and dislike this video because that seems to be what everybody wants to do these days. But aside from that, as always guys, stay soupy, don't be potatoes, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye bye.